Hello, welcome in, welcome in. Welcome to the Lady of the Light. I am Loretta. My name is Loretta Sykes. I am the Lady of the Light. I stand in sovereign domain. And if you don't know what that means that we have been shown, we're ascended masters, realized that we create our own reality. And we've been shown, so we know, so we can stand in sovereign being. But I want to talk to you today about the belief system, your belief system. We're all born and we come here innocent souls, innocent human beings, and we're born into a family that had a belief system about the way they did things and the way things are supposed to be and meant to be, and this is how we do it and believe this. But realized ascended masters, they question everything and believe nothing. A zero. They pretty much forge their own paths and believe the way they want to believe because their beliefs work for them. Like other people will come into your life, like your mothers and your fathers. Maybe you were born in a very rich household and you had to go to college, and they had a lot of money and they said, you're going to college and this is what you're going to become, a doctor. Well, maybe that soul came in and didn't want to be a doctor and they didn't want to go to college, but that was the parents' belief system, that this is the way it's done, this is how you should do it. So they go off to college and they do all that. And later in life, they're not happy. They were meant to come here to be a musician or something, or play in a rock band. And so it all falls apart, and then the family falls apart. But that's what somebody else believes. You don't have to believe what they want for you. You can believe what you want, because what they want for you is satisfying what they want. And that's what they want. It's not what you want. So to stand in sovereignty and truth, you have to say no to something that somebody else wants for you. Because we're sovereign beings. And just because they want something to make them happier and feel better, it's not your place to make somebody else feel happy, to make somebody else feel better by giving up your belief and your energy to something that's going to satisfy someone else and has nothing to do with you. We are all sovereign, and we're here to do what we come here to do. And that is, everybody needs to follow their own truth, their own path. See, my mother and father, she was married at age 16 because my father got her pregnant. And back in the 20s, 30s and 40s and 50s, they were getting married back then as children. 15, because if they had a lifespan of 50 back then, it was a long life. So they lived differently. And everybody back then was children marrying children. And it really didn't work out for my mother and father, because she had one baby after another, and she just sort of got herself trapped in a situation that she wasn't very happy with, because she had 3 young children, and she had a husband that, he had to, of course, he had to take care of his family, but he was never there, And a lot of men, they come along, in your lifetime, And they really don't want children. They just don't want them. They think all the children belong to the women. And which they do, is the mothers take care of them, but the man's not there. It's very seldom you find today that there's a man that wants a family and, be there lovingly through thick and thin to take care, to take care of the family. But it's very rare these days that men, come here with a vision to have children and raise a family. That's why you had so much divorce in this day and age, 2 and 3 marriages, because they just move on. But men can teach something to women about, standing up for themselves and standing in their power and, standing strong and thinking of themselves. It's not a sin to think of yourself. It's not. It's loving yourself. But as far as these belief systems, like, I believe nothing. I threw out the whole belief system. But, people believe if you eat ice cream every night, you're going to get fat. Well, if that's what you believe, that is what's going to happen, because your universe is going to say, okay, we'll just give you more of it if that's what you believe, And so some people just don't, they deprive themselves of sweets because they think they're going to get fat. But what you believe is what's going to happen. So, the way to control these beliefs is to watch your thoughts and see what your belief system, like religion, a lot of that is just, it's just now coming to the light where, God didn't, no. Jesus came to plant the seeds for Christ consciousness so we can walk in Christ consciousness. But he didn't make all this religion, which has created a lot of war and created a lot of fear. And it's got people believing that God is outside of you, that he's somewhere else. But God actually is just consciousness and spirit. That's all he is. And we all go back to the same place. But that's another belief system, if you can get rid of the religion. I mean, the Bible is a handbook, a tool for us to abide by, to help guide us, with certain, like, I went to a Christian school for 4 years, Trinity Christian Academy, but they have different beliefs and they like to instill fear. And when I went to school and listened to these preachers, they like to instill more fear in you. And I just didn't feel right with it. So that's why I connected more spiritually. But it just wasn't a good, I didn't feel it. And it turned out to be true for me. But I went on the spiritual path and the hero's journey that takes about 7 years. And you go into a divine boot camp, where you're learning the lessons and then you're ascending. But you can control these beliefs if you just, even if you're in a car driving down the road, just start noticing what you believe and if it sits with you or not. But notice if what you believe comes to you, because we do create with our beliefs. That's why ascended masters, they don't believe any of it, nothing. They don't, they believe how they want to create their own reality and what helps in their own situations in their own life. But you can control the beliefs and just delete them and get rid of as much as you can. Because the more you let go of, the more wisdom you can allow in. into your beliefs. The more wisdom you can gain. And you will see it. You'll see it. Like, I always look at it that somebody else's belief is it's just energy stealing. This is you giving your energy to somebody else's belief. It's just serving their agenda, what they want. And it takes your energy towards what they want. And so they can gain more power. So that's what these belief systems are about. But we don't believe nothing. This is really nothing. It's just everybody else's power and agenda is all it is. And the less you can give your energy and agendas to, the more power and energy you have for yourself, and to do better for yourself in your life, and there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it at all. It's called love yourself. So everybody out there, love yourself today. Believe none of it. Okay? I'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow. I'm sure.